Take out the trash.
Oh, no, they're all getting really excited in here. Hello and welcome to Hellbent. This week, look, I had a piercing. I did. It's not fake at all. We have amazing stuff. We've got Beck, we've got The Mean, we've got Madi from The Real Horror Show again giving us some jokes, and of course we have an interview with Stephen Bulfield, who's got a very, very funny name, and we'll find out more about him later on in Soft Porn. But first of all, we have a beautiful woman. Her name is Beck, and she's Walk on Fire.
Thank you very much, darling. This song is about realizing what you've got when you've got it, if that makes any sense. Here we go. She runs with hate in her eyes and blood on her hands. She drives home nails off the ledge into the Austin man. She rides a horse of colors many and who's shot and stale. She tramples those on the streets. She has looks that to care. Kiss might make you learn, and her touch might make you burn. When there's only coals on the fire, walk on fire, walk on fire. Her kiss will soften yet, and all is to hide. She wants nothing but your desire, to see the flames even higher. And she is here, she is a thief, disappear. She is here, she is a thief, disappear. A kiss might make you learn, and her touch might make you burn. When there's only coals on the fire, walk on fire, walk on fire. Her kiss might make you learn, her touch might make you burn. When there's only coals on the fire, walk on fire. Thank you.
Woo! Fantastic. Now, we can see you around the place. We can see you every Monday night at the Glass House. Is that right?
That's right, 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. Fantastic. You've got an EP coming out on the 10th of March. What's it called?
It's called Off on a Tangent.
Fantastic. Well, and Beck's off on a tangent right now as well, because it's time for our interview. Now, we have Stephen Bulfield, who has, it's a very funny name, Stephen. It really is.
Well, I was surprised in your intro that you picked up on my name, and I've lived with it all my life, but it's a very rare name. There's about 10 of us in the whole planet, I think.
You know, 10 of you?
Looking at various phone books around the world.
Fantastic. Now, Stephen is from Dangerous to Know in Australia, which is a queer film distribution company, but you've also got a bit of a shady background.
Yeah, well, it's, I you know, kind of made my career in mainstream broadcast television, and then through contacts and so on became involved in safe-sex gay video in the UK. We made the first legal sexual gay video in the UK called the Gay Man's Guide to Safer Sex, which was a part of the Terence Higgins Trust, the big AIDS organisation.
Okay, so basically soft porn.
Yeah, because the UK censorship laws wouldn't allow actual hardcore porn. So I became very skilled and quite proud of the fact that I could show entertaining erotic film that matched the censor's requirements. We couldn't show erections, we couldn't show actual oral sex, we couldn't show actual anal sex.
Well, what's the fun in that?
Well, I used to put the fun in, or I used to work with the models to get the fun in without the actual graphic big close-ups of what was going on.
Okay, because what's actually involved in directing a porn film? I mean, like, what do you do?
You'd first of all make sure that the models are totally at ease and comfortable, and so from that point of view I wouldn't flirt with the models. I didn't want to think that I was some greasy sex mad guy who was getting off while watching them having sex. I always used to make sure that it was a professional thing. I was trying to make them look beautiful, I was trying to make them look erotic, I was trying to make them look entertaining and so on. And people used to say to me, how can you work in sex television? And I used to say, well, it's better than daytime television, darling. And, you know, I also used to say to people that it might as well be a bowl of fruit. I've still got to light it right, I've still got to expose it right, I've still got to get the right angles and so on. And then as far as getting the guys to do whatever it was we wanted them to do, we'd have a sort of a storyline. Sometimes the story was complicated, sometimes it was a little bit vague. Very often it was a little bit vague. But we would set the scene, tell the guys the kind of characters that they were in, and then really let them go for it. And sometimes we wouldn't actually start really rolling the cameras till a while later, when they were relaxed and you get that glint in their eye and the body language is all right and it looks real, because I wanted the viewers to think that they were watching the real thing.
The real thing. So when you're like directing this, do you sometimes get involved with the action, so to speak, in your own sort of body? Like, did you get horny?
I would get horny sometimes, and usually it was at the strangest of moments. You know, I'd be busy, you know, framing a shot or directing a shot or whatever, and suddenly I'd find myself getting turned on by what I saw. Then my worry was, am I capturing that on camera? Am I getting through the lens what I'm feeling by watching what's going on? Because I wanted the viewers to be as horny as, you know.
So could you say that if you see a porno that you like think is really, really sexy, it's not so much I want to have sex with the stars, it's I want to have sex with the director?
Yeah, you might say that.
You could say that.
You could say that.
It's a good porno directing. How do you cast one of these things?
Oh, well, but through various means. I mean, we used to have... The nicest way was when people we'd work with introduced other people, because then they knew that we were genuinely nice people who wanted to create erotic art, and because it was really an art form, although it was art first and porn second, we like to think. But we used to like advertise in magazines, so we used to get people sending in photographs or video clips of themselves, and we used to get some real, you know, some people that just wouldn't make it on, you know.
They were ugly. They were just bloody ugly.
I don't like to think of anybody as ugly. You know, everyone has their own beauty, but there's a certain market.
Yeah, but some people have a lot more beauty than others.
Well, I used to go to, I used to do seminars with, you know, sort of older gay guys in these groups in London, talking about my work, and they would turn around at the end of the talk and say, why don't you ever get videos, erotic videos with older men in them? And they were talking like 60 or 70, and I said, well, you know, I'd love to make an erotic video using older people, but there isn't the market there for it. You know, you need money to pay for these things, and you do that by selling videos to people who buy them.
Okay, so the thing is, because we have to sort of wind up this fairly soon, so if you think of them as a bowl of fruit, if you were doing one with 70-year-olds, what fruit would they be?
What fruit is wrinkled and needs to not look wrinkled when you serve it in the dish?
On that note, I think it's time to go to our next band, and we are going to, actually no, we're going to some comedy with the lovely Madi.
I want to talk about Eastern philosophy a bit today, because Eastern philosophy and Eastern wisdom is the latest big thing. Because, let's face it, those New Zealanders really know what they're talking about. But no, of course we're talking about, you know, China, Tibet, India, all the mystic lands. If you ever look at a map, however, this is Northwestern philosophy, and no one talks about Northwestern philosophy. You can't say you're going to a Northwestern meditation class, because if you do, people think you're going to go to Darwin, down a couple of stubbies and pass out. So we stick to talking about Eastern philosophy, Eastern wisdom. You know, if it's 2,000 years old and from the Orient, then it's great. Modern medicine's out. Chinese medicine is in. Everything. Headache, Chinese medicine. Being hit by a truck, Chinese medicine. You know, panda's pew pickled in brine. This is what the ancient Chinese used to do when they were run over by a semi-trailer. And on top of all this, if you really want to get right into the whole Eastern philosophy thing, then you have to go on a pilgrimage and go visit a guru. Because the gurus really know their stuff. They're right there. They're one with the universe. They are everything. And there are a few standard things to recognise your bona fide guru. I mean, they're a 90-year-old Asian man. They live in a remote place, such as a cave halfway up a mountain in the Himalayas. They don't eat, they don't drink, they don't sleep, they don't breathe. Basically, these guys are dead. What's happened is they've just gone up the mountain, they've died, they've been snap frozen by the cold, and nobody's noticed. And people go on pilgrimages and get wisdom from these guys. You know, they sort of climb up there and say, "Great master, tell us, what do I need to know to become one with the universe, to achieve nirvana?" And the guru says, and they say, "Aha, you mean silence is the way to inner wisdom, and the fool prattles on where the wise man holds his tongue, and only by silence can we achieve true self-contemplation and become one with the universe and know everything. Thank you, great master." Guru says, and they go home and tell all their friends about it. Of course, there must be another kind of guru. There must be some living gurus out there, you know. And I think they must survive by going rogue. You have your yogis who go rogue. Your rogies, I guess they're called. Rogi bear. They're smarter than the average guru. Rogi yogis. And that's Fat Albert, isn't it? Not Yogi Bear. I think Fat Albert would make a good Zen master, actually. Like,
Hey, I am one with the universe. I will tell you the sound of one hand clapping.
You get that other guy who can never understand on the show. You're like, "Hey, Fat Albert, what is the sound of one hand clapping?" Never mind. Anyway, the rogue yogis who survive by killing and eating people, essentially anyone who goes up the mountain is like, sitting on a pile of bones, this ancient Tibetan man. But there's got to be some real ones out there who are dispensing all this stuff like, you know, the sound of one hand clapping. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Because otherwise, how could all the New Age people write their books and make millions of dollars telling us how to give up worldly things? But what I want to know is the whole tree falling in a forest thing, how does this affect me? You know, I've got a mortgage, the car's broken down, the boyfriend's got his period, and so like, you know, someone says to me, "A tree's falling in a forest and there's no one around, it doesn't make a sound." To which I say, I don't give a shit. I want something that's a bit more relevant to my everyday life. Give me a horoscope, it makes more sense. So, you know, they come up with that other great weapon in the arsenal of Eastern philosophy, which is yoga. Yoga's great because, you know, it's self-defense. If ever a burglar breaks into your house, you can knot your arms behind your head and stick both feet up your bum. That'll fox them. But when it comes right down to it, the way Eastern philosophy has broken into Western culture is the whole tree falling in a forest thing has inspired the entire green movement. Basically said, "Oh no, there's trees falling everywhere. What we'll do is go and handcuff ourselves to them, and therefore we'll wipe out this Eastern thing and we'll be right and save the world." Of course, we really want to scare people away from trees.
Do you know, I actually went to a yogi on top of a mountain and he said, "Go, I could kill you for a fag." Now, you're still to be found on The Real Horror Show, aren't you?
Yes, that's Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's on Elstonwick.
Elstonwick Cinema, last Saturday of every month.
Cool, because we've got to throw, because it's time for the meme, and they are doing their song on No Breeze. God, it's bloody hot in here.
Sometimes I'm feeling so strange, like all the world's in disarray. 'Cause it seemed back then when I was young, so young, it was more simple and hey, it was fine. Yeah, the penny drops, we become wise. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while just to realize the penny it drops, no need to think twice. No need to think. No need to think. Sitting in between the cosmic realms, falling stars, a wish cast in the helm. Conditions of frosting, what I call free. Reflects the shadow of my being when Don't you go, don't you go. Need you to keep alive, swinging side by side. It's this feel that I've come to know, so letting it go, let it
Fantastic. That was the meme. They have a CD out. I'll show you that a little bit later on. They're also back after the break. But during the break, do you have any secrets to like stamina and keeping, you know, the longevity thing happening?
About sexual stamina?
Quite possibly.
Can I tell you in private?
Yeah, all right. So we're going to go out to a break. He's going to tell me some things. You come back and maybe I'll share it with you, all right? So there's some secrets after this. So, like, do you need to use Viagra?
No,
Anything like
Viagra.
that?
Don't use Viagra.
Okay, cool. Hey, we're back! A large green balloon just flew up my foof. I don't know what that was all about. You'll find out about what's down there in a moment. Now, Stephen gave me some tips, but he did soft porn, so all I got was a soft on. I tell you. Now, we've got a special something happening down here. If you follow us down, we've got something that we're going to call Kaye's Corner right now, and we have a guest in Kaye's Corner as well. How are you, Miss Shitty?
Hi, darling. How are you?
Miss Shitty's back. How does it feel now that you've, like, cut your bra off?
Totally liberated.
Absolutely,
totally liberated.
Kay, now I'm going to leave it up to you. What are you doing today?
Oh, well, Remy, I thought we'd get a little bit creative because, you see, we've just had the Midsummer thing, and during Midsummer there was Mass Hang. And Mass Hang was all about expressing yourself and getting your creativity onto the canvas. So I thought, well, we could do a little bit of finger painting. What do you think? And I thank you, Miss Chitty, for joining me here. I can't tie that.
I'd just like to make a slight confession.
You're confessing.
I'm in a very confessy sort of mood.
Okay.
I stole one of Beryl's shoes, my dear friend Beryl, in one of her frocks, but it's all in the name of art, and that's what we're here for, isn't it, Kaye, right now?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the point, you know, anything can happen. Now, I would advise, Miss Chitty, before you start doing this kind of activity, you might want to invest in a little bit of a smock, because, you see, that will help keep your clothes clean, so Mummy won't get angry. Before we start, Miss Chitty, I did want to say that I've seen a few of these kind of toys floating around. This is kind of like a little space gun. Can you hear that? This is actually the motivating force behind this segment, Miss Chitty, because I thought, well, it actually fires as well.
It's not going to kill me, is it?
It's scary. Look, I'll fire at the camera. Here we go. No, it won't go. Oh, I might have to heat up. You play with that.
It's not going to kill me, is it?
All right, let's get down to business. Shall we do some finger painting?
Yeah.
Well, the whole point is I found that so aggressive. I found it so aggressive and so ugly, and I thought, well, maybe we could get a little bit more creative. Now, I did find some objects on the way to the studio here today. I found some foam, which you see, it's very bright, but we can paint on that. And I also found, Miss Chitty, some of this bubble wrap.
Lovely burpy.
I just put that in because I like snapping.
And make little farty, burpy, farty noises.
It's fun, isn't it, Remy? I like it. Oh, good Lord. The whole point is, I know, this is it. The whole point is that you can, control yourselves here, please. We've only got 3 minutes. You can look through that, and that will help change your perception of the world. So if you're having trouble visualising different colours and things, you can just look through that. You can also just look through cellophane. That will change your perception of the world.
That'll cause a lot of trouble for them.
Let's get started with some paint. These are non-toxic finger paints, if you can see. I'm just going to put a little bit of that there.
You can paint on anything, you know.
You can paint on anything.
Paint
That's
on your
piece over
wall.
there, Miss Chitty.
Paint on the wall.
Spread it out. We'll have to do this and you'll come back and see how fabulous it's all going to be. We've got red, blue, and I guess you have to use your fingers.
Yes.
You see how... Oh, good Lord.
How are you going to do that with your nails?
Well, it's not a pretty sight. It's actually quite beautiful. It's very luminous. The most important thing is to get stuff that is non-toxic, because otherwise you'll end up glowing, Remy. It's not a pretty look. We're working on the subject matter of portraiture today.
And what's this portrait of?
Well, this is going to be a portrait of me when it's finished. Now, look at those beautiful colours. Isn't that wonderful? So we'll
Yes,
do
look
this
at the
while
pretty
band
colours, Kaye.
plays.
Look at the very pretty colours.
Bit of white there. What are you drawing over there, Miss Shitty?
Oh, just a picture of my friend.
Okay. See how beautiful? That's a bit too much blue. Needs more colour.
I must say, that's actually very Van Gogh-ish.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think you might be mad.
Well, well, I don't know, but how much more time have we got in this segment? That's it.
We're
over.
dead.
We're way
so
over.
that means that I'm going to play with my bubble wrap.
Okay.
And, look at this. And we're going over to the meme, or the Mimi, and they've got a song called Sunny. They're really into weather, these people. I tell you.
I was faffing around in my own concrete town, waiting for the time to arrive. When I would start to feel that full-on energy pill of just being alive. Fell down every pitfall along the way. Appreciate the job. I knew it was time to come join in the fun. On the postcard you said, in India we'll be wild. Well, I got to New Delhi, met you in Paganj, taking it all in like a sun-beaten sponge. The buzz of the people
fantastic. You played so fast, you finished before the song did. Yay! Hey, the meme. These are the meme. This is their CD. Let me just show you that. Is it over here? Come on. Can we get that? Fantastic. That's the meme. They've got some gigs coming up in the future as well. When's that?
Wednesday 24th at the Public Bar opposite Vic Market in North Melbourne about 10ish, and Sunday 6 p.m. on the 28th of February at Springvale World Cultural Festival, Sandown Park in Springvale.
Fantastic, so get yourself down there. Now, we're just going to check on Kaye and Corner and Miss Shitty and see how they're going as well. Girls, what have you come up with?
Well, I think Miss Shitty has done extraordinary things with her portrait here. She was actually throwing the paint, Remy, at one point on her little board there.
Miss Shitty, what is it that you've done here?
This is a picture of my dear friend Daniel.
Daniel, yes.
And he's only 15 years old.
Oh, it's a son.
And he's been driven home after a -18 event. And he's been fondled by a yucky man that met him in the street.
Oh, it has a political message.
It's a true story, actually.
Oh.
It certainly does. Now, next week we got Caroline Moore here. I wish I could plug her thing, but I don't have time. So we're going to keep painting, and you guys come over next week. We'll be here. This is fantastic, this stuff.
I'm going to do some...
And get yourself some bubble wrap, because it's the best stuff.
Oh, yeah. So horny.